Every week, the Payne family cuts straight to the real financial story.
The one question, Bob, everyone's asking is, are we in an artificial intelligence bubble? You've been through boom and bust. What do you think?
No hype, no myths. Just what actually matters to your money.
Does feel very similar to what we experienced in the 90s. Where are we, though? Are we in 1995, 1997, 1999?
Listen to the Pain Points of Wealth on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
The Stone Zone, entertaining and informative
on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
I just got a new piece of evidence here. Evidence. This is evidence. And it looks like new videotape. And from another perspective, okay, you've seen this thing, the shooting in Minneapolis, right? We know, I hope you know. Look, at the very least, you should know. And anybody who went to common sense school, anyone who can use their eyes can see that that vehicle was accelerating in his let's say general direction. A 4-ton vehicle coming at you. I'm sorry, a 2-ton. It was 4,000 pounds. A 2-ton vehicle coming at you is a deadly threat. And one of his options when it's a deadly threat is to use deadly force in return. And actually, do me a favor. The White House spokesperson is right now. I want to catch this on Fox. She was about to do a press conference. Well, let's see if we can get the gist of it right here.
Over with her vehicle and was using that vehicle as a weapon, which justifies domestic terrorism. And unfortunately, we are seeing these instances play out in American communities across the country where you have these organized paid antagonists who are part of these groups that are actively, unlawfully impeding lawful law enforcement operations. They are harassing and targeting ICE agents, trying to make it impossible, again, for them to carry out their duties. That's what was happening in this case. That officer used his training. I understand that he's been on the force and he's been protecting American communities for many, many years. He's an experienced and brave individual who unfortunately had to make a very tough decision and was put in that position by these paid agitators who have been doing this all over the country.
All right. Caroline Levitt, I like it. POTUS is about to talk economy. Oh, he's back at that thing in Detroit, I believe. Colin Powell. No, not Colin Powell. Jerome Powell is, he's the Fed chair, right? An annoying guy and a political animal, a political bastard. You know, he was messing with the interest rates, in October of 24. He lowered them. I forgot. Was it 25, index points or something like that? Point. He signaled to the economy. He did something that would jumpstart the economy just in time for the election. And as he claims he's not political, this, that, and the other thing. No, he absolutely is. Bad guy. All right, I want to go to this new video. I'll tell you what we see here. It's taken, from one of the houses. Well, you know how the SUV was pointing in one direction? This is in the opposite. This is on the near side of the street. This is on the, if you get out of that car and you walk backward, all right, and you walk to a house, and then maybe you walk down one house. It's taken from the second floor porch of one of those houses. All right. Now, the sound may not be all that. OK, but the imagery might be very, very important. So I want to make sure we're doing this together so I can see it and you will run it. And I'll tell you what I'm seeing. OK, this is the first time. And they say that this is potentially very significant. OK, warning, distressing content. Don't worry about that. OK, Carlos, do it with me. 3, 2, 1, go. Just a bunch of cars on the street, down the block. A couple of guys on the street. Not much is going on. Ooh, nastiness. Nasty words. Nothing's going on, really. Just yelling. Oh, protest? I can't tell. Stop. Okay, so a couple of people are, it doesn't really show you as much as I thought. It just shows you that some of these people are going into the street on foot and yelling and screaming at ICE agents in the moments before the shooting. I thought it was going to be more significant, but it gives you an idea of the temperature, right? Yelling and those curse words. We're bleeping out the curse words. Keep going. It's very hard to do your job with people blowing whistles and yelling curse words at you, and you have no right to be here. This is law enforcement. You want to change the law, go ahead and change the law, but don't blame these guys. These guys, and it turns out that the person that they were looking for, or persons, at least one of them was a sex offender. At least one of them was a Somali person here illegally. You got to go get these guys, and you got to do it with guns, especially if it's a sex offender. Now let's go back to the Saint Rebecca Good, right? Saint Good. Everybody who dies posthumously, they're a saint. Everything they did was beautiful. That's true in some cases, like my Uncle Donald, by the way, who died late last week. Very sad. I went to the wake last night, 91 years old, a great man, great Marine. He had tremendous presence. He was a man that you did not mess with, 6'4" tall. He was my father's older brother, closest to him in age. He had 7 years older than my dad. My dad came from a family of 5 children. He was one of 5. And Donald, all the men, all of the boys went into the Marine Corps. How about that? Leonard, who was, I think, 14 years older than my dad. Kenneth, the second oldest. I think Mary, she didn't go into the Marines. She became a very talented decorator, interior design, things like that. And then Donald. And then my dad. Donald went into the Marines, came back, very successful career in banking, Emigrant Savings Bank, all over the metropolitan area, but probably spent most of his career at the flagship Emigrant on 42nd Street between 5th and Madison. I worked there a couple of summers myself, sweeping the floor, throwing out garbage, and shredding old mortgages, fully paid mortgages. They had to be destroyed. So I would, that was part of my gig. I worked with Dennis, and anyway, he was a great man. A lot of people came to the wake last night and said, your uncle gave me a job 44 years ago. I'm still there. Lots of little things for a lot of people, but those little things turn out to be very, very big things. Just a good, solid American, cared deeply about the city. He was blown away that Mamdani got it. I couldn't believe it, right? Just, disgusting. He was always sticking up for my dad, too. One time he called Curtis and Kuby because Bratton, that lowlife, was just become the commissioner again, right? Desperately trying to become, right? Desperate for that job. Just desperate for that job because he didn't really want to do the job. He wanted to cash in. He wanted to become he had the job for about 9 months. And he says, guess what, everybody? I got the biggest job in the world and I start tomorrow. And he just quit like that. He went off to make millions of dollars, and strange cat. Anyway, part of his shtick is once he becomes the police chief, bad-mouthing the department, right? So he can fix what's so bad, right? He like de Blasio, pretending something is broken, then pretending to fix what wasn't broken, and then actually managing to break it. That was de Blasio, and that was Bratton. And so this is happening. My dad, my uncle calls up the radio show. It just lays into Bratton. It was on the front page of the Daily News. It was so cool. But he was a great American. Humble, didn't go around looking for attention. But he got it anyway because he was such a solid dude. I got to go back to this, the fakest eulogy of all time, Renee Good. I found out Good isn't even her real last name. Nothing about this person's real. Good is, she just liked the name. Apparently she wasn't even married to this woman. Pick it up if you don't mind. I guess we can take it from the top. Cut 12, please. Cut 12. This is the Rachel Maddow, local anchor there, glorifying and eulogizing Renee Good, the person who just tried to kill a cop. Right? But hey, a lot of things going in her advantage. These are cops who work for Donald Trump. These are white cops, right, who are involved. Right? So who's on the right side of this? Oh, of course, the 37-year-old mother. The 37-year-old mother who hates America and hates Jesus. Cut 12, please. Cut 12.
Hey, for the first time, we're hearing from Becca Good, the wife of Renee Good, who was shot by ICE agents in Minneapolis. The statement is as follows. Becca's words. I want to extend my gratitude to all the people who have reached out from across the country and around the world to support our family. The kindness of strangers is the most fitting tribute because
hey,
if
just
you ever
real quick, there's no family, really. You know who's going to take the kid? The father-in-law. The grandfather, rather. The grandfather. The blood relative. I guarantee you there is no legal arrangement for this kid to be brought up by terrorist Becca. And I have proof that she's a terrorist and an unfit mother. You're going to call it a mother, or an unfit mother? Keep going.
My wife, Renee Nicole Macklin Good, you knew that above all else, she was kind. Renee sparkled. She literally sparkled. I mean, she didn't wear glitter, but I swear she had sparkles coming out of her pores all the time. You might think it was just my love talking, but her family says the same thing. Renee was made of sunshine.
Excuse me. Just, I'm sorry. Every time the family is mentioned, I got to point out, the family actually said she shouldn't have been there. She had no business being there. They didn't agree with her ways. And I don't think they're very fond of you, Becca. And this this is a real trend now, right? Don't distinguish yourself by anything else other than your sexual appetites. That's what makes you special. It's funny how that makes certain people special and certain people total scourges, right? If I were to exhibit my sexual appetites, right? If I were to just unleash those, I would be a dog. I would just be, I would be, right? But the LGBT queer, that's beautiful and uplifting for all. No, just make such a big deal out of it. Keep going.
Renee lived an overarching belief. There is kindness in the world, and we need to do everything we can to find it where it resides and nurture it where it needs to grow. Renee was a Christian who knew that all religions teach the same essential truth. We are here to love each other, care for each other, and keep each other safe.
Stop. When I say she's, look, it's a bit more involved than that also. I've heard that before. All religions, just be good. Just be a good person. Right? Just be a good person. You can't be a good person without God. The goodness comes from him, not us. All right? And then when we do good, look at me. I did something good. Oh boy, I'm special. I'm better. I got status. Blah, 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 blah. We're nothing without God. And this person, I'm sorry. I mean, I hope she's in heaven, and she very well could be. God can forgive anything, right? But she was one lost soul, and writing this dastardly poem, this perverted poem, how she resented the Bible as parasitic. Christians are zealots with meaty hands. Just the kind of thing that, quite frankly, academics just swoon over. It's the easiest thing in the world to put down somebody with the Bible. And that's what she did here. But keep going.
Like many people have done across place and time, we moved here to make a better life for ourselves. We chose Minnesota to make our home. Our whole extended road trip here, we held hands in the car while our son drew all over the windows to pass the time in the miles. What we found when we got here was a vibrant and welcoming community. We made friends and spread joy. And while any place we were together was home, there was a strong shared sense here in Minneapolis that we were looking out for each other. Here, I had finally found peace and safe harbor. That has been taken from me forever. We were raising our son to believe that no matter where you come from or what you look like, all of us deserve compassion and kindness. Renee lived this belief every day. She is pure love. She is pure joy. She is pure sunshine.
All right, stop. Right up until she hit the gas. Right? Everything's beautiful. Treat people with kindness, compassion, respect, right? Here is Becca Good. Does this sound like kindness? And the person who wrote that statement, right? This is what she sounded like. This is what she sounded like moments before giving her wife the fatal order to drive, baby, drive. Cut 11.
I'm not mad. That's okay. We don't change our plates every morning, just so you know. It'll be the same plate when you come talk to us later. That's fine. U.S. citizen, former fucking president. You want to come at us? You want to come at us? I say go get yourself some lunch, big boy. Go ahead.
Out of the car. Get out of the car.
How about that, huh? Peace and love and joy and light. Go get some lunch, big boy. She looked actually a little bit stout herself. Anyway, the hypocrisy, right? Well, I hope that cop's going to be okay. I know he's not going to be prosecuted, but he could be hassled for the rest of his life. Bill Ackman, American hero, just donated $10 million to that family. God bless that man. Be right back.
The Stone Zone, entertaining and informative.
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
that dentist. You see the dentist and his wife killed by, it looks like, the ex-husband with whom she had no children. Ugly. What are you thinking? The doctor, he's a surgeon from Illinois. He drives to Ohio, kills the family, allegedly, or kills the husband and wife, and then goes back to Illinois thinking that he wouldn't get caught. You can't do anything without being spotted. Literally, there's almost no expectation of privacy once you leave the house. Once you go outside, that's it. You're going to be recorded. Everybody knows where your car is. The CIA, the cops, your wife, everybody knows where you are at all times. I really feel bad for this police officer who fired that shot. I know what it's like to get out of a fitness routine, and I think he got out of his fitness routine, understandably so, because he was dragged 100 yards by a maniac, sex offender criminal last June. We all have that. It's been all adjudicated. The guy's in prison, but in trying to apprehend him, he was opening the door and the guy hit the gas and dragged this ICE officer all the way down the block. Imagine I only want to hear from people on this issue who have been dragged down the block at least 50 feet by a vehicle. All right. So if you don't like it, you can let me know. If you don't like what happened, but you have to call in if you've been dragged any distance, let's say at least 10 feet by a vehicle. All right. And that can be rather upsetting. 800-848-9222, 800-848-9222. Poor Ashley Babbitt. They all called her an insurrectionist. And this one, Renee Good, is a mother and an American citizen. You know, she's just a mom. Didn't have custody of 2 of her 3 children. I'm sorry, but there's something a little bit off. Mom always gets the custody unless there's a little bit of a problem. And there's a problem. This one a little bit more so. She was stalking them all day long. I have to wrap up this silly moment from the wife. Do we want to pick it up? All right. This is the wife and the memorial. We'll do it right after the break. 800-848-9222, 800-848-9222. Eric Swalwell. Only in a country like America could a man like that, after Fang Fang, show his face in public. But he's running for governor, even though he's ineligible to run for governor. Our friend Joel Gilbert went face-to-face with Eric Swalwell. Eric lost, Joel won. Joel joins us next.
The Stone Zone. Entertaining and informative.
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
You know, a Honda Pilot that this domestic terrorist was driving, trying to ram down that cop. And even if she wasn't, it doesn't really matter. We'll never know what was on her mind exactly. We don't have to. It's the actions. You ever hear about those guys? It happens throughout history where somebody robs a gas station and a cop gets killed in the execution of the robbery. And even though one guy pulled the trigger, they're all guilty of killing that cop. And they all there's something under the law if you're engaged in an illegal act. And so the circumstances really, I mean, whether she was turning that wheel or not, number one, it's unknowable what she was thinking. Number two, did the officer perceive that? It doesn't really matter. More than, you got to steer that wheel for a bit before it actually happens, before the car actually responds. It was going in his direction. We heard it hit him. We heard it. He is the boss in this situation, quite frankly, even post-event. It is his state of mind, what was going on in his head, and he'll tell us. He'll tell his bosses. He'll tell investigators. Although maybe he doesn't have to. Maybe, right? Because everybody seems to be out to get him, except for millions of people, and quite frankly, President Trump and Vice President Vance. $50,000 for a Honda Pilot. I did not know they cost that much. Go to Mercedes. Go to Ray Cantina. I mean, my gosh, you can drive a Mercedes. That's a lot of money for a Honda Pilot. Lease a Mercedes. I don't buy. I lease. Personally, I lease. Although I know a lot of people like to buy too. Nothing like that new car smell, right? All right, here is Eric Swalwell, the congressman from California, desperate to be taken seriously. exploiting the latest calamity to befall somebody else, in this case, the driver in Minneapolis. Go ahead.
This is the glove compartment of Renee Good, 37-year-old mom, 3 kids. She wasn't a terrorist. She wasn't a criminal. She was a mom.
A mom.
No.
And she had teddy bears in the glove compartment. The officer should have said, "Oh, you have teddy bears? You got to be a nice person. Oh, it's okay that you tried to run me over. I didn't know you were a mother after all." You know, Dennis Rader, the BTK killer, was a father. Who cares? All right. One of our favorites, Joel Gilbert, just had a face-to-face showdown with Congressman Swalwell, who desperately wants to be somebody important. He's running for governor right now, even though that whole campaign is probably doomed, in part thanks to Joel Gilbert. Joel, how are you?
Okay, good to be back. Thank you, Greg.
Hey, before we get you on Swalwell, what's your assessment of the Minneapolis situation and the you've seen all the videotape. What do you make of everything?
Well, we're seeing the same kind of leftist playbook from Trayvon Martin, from George Floyd, where they try to talk about the perpetrator, as an innocent person who was just getting candy or just getting some food and was accosted by police or a white man unjustly. So they're kind of running out the same playbook. And I think we do have a lot of good conservative media that's pointing out the facts and showing the videos. But that's the uphill battle, is to penetrate the media with the facts. That's what we're doing.
And by the way, just your take on this, and there's no right or wrong answer, but do you think some aspects of conservative media spend too much time worried about what dominant leftist media are doing and trying to debunk that, as opposed to just telling the truth themselves? It's fine if they are, but sometimes I think we get carried away with what the left is doing, the left media. What do you think?
Well, look, I became a regular viewer of MSNBC only because of Hannity and Fox News. All they do is run clips of leftist media, CNN, MSNBC, MS Now. And so that's the only reason you watch those shows, is because they base their shows on what the other shows are doing. So I am pretty sick of that, and I wish we would just cover the news without having to cover what the leftists are saying.
Right. No, it's a crutch, and it's too easy to do. So you've been all over this Swalwell candidacy for governor. He's got a lot of irregularities, and I heard you went face-to-face with him the other night?
Right. He announced a town hall in Santa Monica, California, near here where I live. So I thought, great, I downloaded a ticket, no problem. I registered, and I went to this event on Friday. Only about 100 people were there, a very small crowd. And my intention was, because I know at town hall, the format is you can ask a lot of questions. So I figured I wanted to ask him about what I've been writing about in the Gateway Pundit. I wanted to say, Mr. Swalwell, you know the California Constitution requires you to have been a resident for 5 years before an election for governor. But your deed of trust in Washington, D.C. says that's your home address, your principal residence. You have no California address. You even used your attorney's address for your official candidate filing, which is perjury. Will you either give me your home address or announce you're dropping out? That was my plan. Ask that question. But so I'm there, and he comes out, and he actually comes around and shakes everybody's hand. So I actually shake his hand. He was very nice. I said, thanks for being here. But I did see a panicked look in his eyes for a second. I felt like maybe he recognized me. And I sat there. He talked for about 10 minutes. He only took 8 questions. I didn't get a chance to ask a question, and he closed out the event. I was shocked. He closed it out an hour and a half early. Now, I don't know if that was because of me. He was afraid I'd ask a question. But then they announced, they said, if you want to get a photo with the congressman, you need to come wait in this line. So I thought, great, I'll go wait in line, and I can ask him a question when we're taking a photo. And these 3 6'5" goons all of a sudden appear with security jackets in front of me, and they say, Mr. Gilbert, what's your plan? I said, who are you? They said, what's your plan? And I said, I wanted to take a photo with the congressman. They said, we're not going to allow that. You can come over here and chat with us instead. And I said, well, I have nothing to say to you guys, so, I'm going to leave. So I left. So they kind of escorted me out. I actually posted a video for that. It's pretty interesting. But I didn't say a word. All I did is sit there. So they must have recognized me. Swalwell must have told his security to, prevent me from talking to him. I think he is afraid to answer questions because he does have a residency problem. He is not eligible to run for governor of California. And it's pretty interesting listening to him there for, even 30 minutes. I mean, he's a Bernie Sanders clone wannabe, talking about ICE. He invoked Anne Frank from the Holocaust. He said these ICE people are dragging women by their hair through the streets. He said, I'm going to use law enforcement to prosecute them when I'm governor. So he has a whole radical agenda, no different from Bernie Sanders.
How about that? Hey, we have the moment. Is this the moment where you were escorted out, or is this the moment where you're saying hi to Swalwell?
On the video, I'm not sure which one. There is a video where you can hear, so I put some music in there. You can't hear the voices that well, but you can see it. And maybe if we do your TV show, you can see it all.
All right. So it's not going to work on. Well, give it a shot. I want to hear this thing. All right. Just in case. Hit it.
I don't think you can hear it much.
You what? What'd you say to that guy?
He said, good to see you. And I said, thanks for coming. And then when the three goons came and surrounded me, they said, what's your plan?
Yeah,
and I said, I want to take a photo.
Right.
So, look, he's a serious radical. I did find out something interesting. He did say that he became a Democrat to antagonize his parents. That's what he told the crowd. He said, I was raised by Republicans. His father and his brothers are police officers. So I couldn't help getting this feeling that Swalwell is doing some kind of lifelong rebellion against his parents. It's like a psychological problem of some kind. That's what I walked away with.
That's a strange thing to say. And one other thing that I see, he's in this game for his ego. I mean, look, they got great big signs that say Swalwell all over the place. I mean, that's so unnatural when you think about it. And it's so like ego serving. President Trump, you know what his motto was? Make America great again. You didn't see his picture all over the place. Actually, and when you were in 2016, you didn't even see the name Trump. We already know the name Trump. Make America great again. And this is Swalwell. I mean,
my impression of him spending an hour, kind of close up is that he's very calculating. He's highly ambitious. I think he knows California is kind of a one-party state, and if he secures the Democrat nomination, he'll be governor. I'm sure he plans to run for president again. I think that he is going through this kind of lifelong childhood rebellion against his parents. I think that's what it's really all about. That's what I could tell. He's got something wrong with him. And he volunteered it to the crowd. He said, I became a Democrat to antagonize my parents. So, political tyrants in history who cause mass destruction and mayhem, they all start with these psychological problems growing up. So I think Swalwell has all the potential to be one of these guys. And he's positioned himself as this big anti-Trump. That's his path. He wants to be, I'm super anti-Trump, and he thinks that's the way to get elected.
Well, that's pretty crowded. Hey, last thing. You've done really important work about the residents or non-residents in California. Any mainstream dominant media pickup of that? Now, we were talking a minute ago, we don't really care, but however, Democrats care, and he has primary opponents. They're going to care. So is this thing getting picked up?
It has not gotten picked up yet. I think there will be some legal filings in the state of California that I'm having a part of that are going to force the Secretary of State to rule him ineligible. It's called a petition for writ of mandate.
Who else is running out there?
Of course, Steve Hilton, the Fox News commentator. There's about 10 people that no one's heard of. It's way too early. No one even cares about the governor's race right now. But that just shows you how serious Swalwell is, because he's out here doing town halls all over the place.
Wait, is it this year or next year?
It's in November of this year.
Oh, boy. And
but it doesn't really pick up until April or even June or even September when people start paying attention.
But
so
wait,
it's way too early.
Are there any other mainstream Democrats going for this?
No, there's this crazy woman named Kathy or Carrie or somebody that's gotten terrible publicity. So Swalwell, I think, is at 10%, but most people are at about 8 or 10% right now. But I think he sees the path to become governor, and he's exploiting this whole anti-Trump, anti-ICE thing to pursue it.
Was there anybody normal on the Democrat? I mean, normal, you know what I mean? Not as bad as Swalwell? I mean, for crying out loud, he could be governor for, I mean, this could, I wasn't taking it seriously. Isn't somebody like, Oh, I don't know. One of those, Ted Lieu or somebody like that. I mean, no.
There's nobody that I know of. I think Swalwell's biggest problem is the fact that he does not have a California home or address. He named his Washington, D.C. home as his principal address. California Constitution says he cannot run. That's his biggest adversary right now. I think unless we get him eliminated on the ineligibility, I think he does have a path to become governor.
Oh, boy. All right. Well, they thought they had problems with Newsom. That's Joel Gilbert. We appreciate it, pal. Check him out at highway61ent.com. All kinds of great material, the Roseanne Barr documentary and everything else. Joel Gilbert, we thank you.
All right. Thanks so much.
You bet. To be continued. Give me a call, 800-8489-222, 800-8489-222. California, you got to do something. You can do better than Swalwell. I mean, even different Democrat, Fang and the rest. This guy for real? Ronald Reagan? I mean, please tell me that's not true. I'll be right back.
The Stone Zone, entertaining and informative
on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Man, a lot of people have been dragged by cars. Are you serious? You were seriously dragged by a car? Let's see here. Who's this? Paul. Hello?
Hello.
Is this true?
Yep.
What happened?
I was on a bike, and a truck hit me. And as a result of the hit, I got turned over. And so my hands were dragged along the cement. And finally, I separated my shoulder, and I was really scared because I was upside down, and I thought another car might come and run me over.
Oh, boy. When was this?
40 years ago.
Damn. Well, do you have any scars or anything like that?
Sure, on my hands.
Yikes. Eesh. Well, you made it through. That must be, what kind of truck was this?
It was just a delivery truck.
Damn. Did you sue?
What?
Did you sue?
Sure. Yeah.
Punitive damages. How did you do?
I got all right. I did all right. I'm an ex-lawyer.
Uh-huh.
By the way, can I go into something else for a second?
No, of course you can. What is it?
If we want buyers for homes, and in order to get homes, about 30 to 40 years ago, banks started taking out the right to assume a mortgage, so that anybody who wanted to buy a house had to get a new mortgage in order to buy that house. And if we could just amend the rights of parties so that everybody can assume a mortgage instead, it could be much cheaper for a person to buy a house.
What do you mean assume a mortgage? Like take over somebody else's mortgage?
Yes.
Well, who the hell could... that doesn't seem like a uniformly good deal. That's only in certain circumstances where that's going to be a good deal.
That's in most circumstances, believe me.
The last time we loosened up the mortgage situation, it brought on that housing bubble, remember?
Yeah, but we're not loosening that up. What we're doing is we're saying to the banks, hey, guess what? You can't write a new mortgage so fast. We're gonna have the people come in and save $5,000 when they buy the house because they can assume the other person's mortgage. And that mortgage may be a 4% mortgage or a 3% mortgage. And it might be $50,000, $100,000.
Well, wait. What if if I'm the seller and I've already paid off a lot of my mortgage? I want more than what's the rest of that mortgage. I want, I need dough like anybody. I want to get top dollar. I don't want anybody just taking over the mortgage.
No, they take over the mortgage, but they still have to give you the full price of the deal.
Oh, so all right. I don't know about this stuff. Ask who's that Fed Reserve guy who nobody likes, Jerome Powell. No, it's intriguing, but I don't know. Thank you, Joe. Hello,
Joe from Jersey.
Oh, forgive me. Yes, hello. This Joe from Jersey.
I want to know if we can bring back waterboarding. Can the president bring that back?
You bring back waterboarding. What do you like about waterboarding so much?
It comes out with the truth. I don't know what we're doing. It comes out with the truth when somebody's, you catch somebody trying to blow up things.
You think, huh?
Well, that's what I heard all the while.
Yeah, well, here's the thing about waterboarding. We're doing it right now. Okay, it never went away. In fact, don't ask me how I know this, but waterboarding has been around for a long time. In fact, it's invented in ancient China, but we don't want to advertise that too much. We don't. And the other thing is, when we start waterboarding people a lot, guess what they do to our guys? Worse. We should really treat these guys, these prisoners, nicely. I know a lot of people I know don't like that idea, but a lot of people I know have never been in the position of being, a prisoner of war, right? Not that I was, I was vulnerable, at least. I was flying over enemy territory. They sent me to prisoner of war school just in case. And the idea that we're, torturing people is, I know it gets your macho up, right? Yeah. We got to be tough on these guys. But then they're tough on our guys, right? They're tough on our guys when they're over there and they do worse. So I say, go easy on them, actually. I don't like the idea. I know. Hey, by the way, there are better ways to get information. Much better ways to get information than torturing a guy. Butter him up. Set him up with some girls. He'll tell you everything you want to know. Mike, hello. Is he there?
Hey, Greg, how you doing?
Good.
I just had a point about, the whole thing with the fake news. Did you happen to catch the Golden Globes last night?
They were last night?
Yeah, they were last night.
Yeah, no, I know. I saw it in the paper. No, I did not watch. I have no interest. It's like barely a thing now, right? Barely a thing. I was at the wake for my uncle, Donald Kelly. Great man. I didn't see any Golden Globes, nor would I have watched even if I was home. What about it?
No, but the host was great. The what's her name, Glazer? She's
Nikki.
A comedian.
Nikki Glazer?
Yeah, Nikki Glazer, and she really went off on the fake media.
Epstein and stuff like that?
Yeah, they panned around the crowd, and they showed all the people laughing uncomfortably. It was really fun to watch.
All right, so tell you what, we'll play it when we come back. Nikki Glazer. I did hear some positive buzz about her, and I always get her confused with some other person. She's like in her early 40s. I think she went to college in Kansas, and she started the old-fashioned way. She just did stand-up when she was 18. She went to the cafeteria and looked at people, and she said to herself, what would Sarah Silverman be saying about these people? And that helped her find her voice. She mimicked, and then she grew. All right, yeah. This is like the third time I've heard it. We'll play it when we come back.
Thanks for listening to The Stone Zone with Roger Stone. You can hear The Stone Zone with Roger Stone weeknights at 8 on 77 WABC. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode, so you never have to wonder,
what the heck is going on here?
Every week, the Payne family cuts straight to the real financial story.
The one question, Bob, everyone's asking is, are we in an artificial intelligence bubble? You've been through boom and bust. What do you think?
No hype, no myths. Just what actually matters to your money.
Does feel very similar to what we experienced in the 90s. Where are we, though? Are we in 1995, 1997, 1999?
Listen to the Pain Points of Wealth on the Red Apple Podcast Network.